Welcome back to the Primal Scream. I'm Matt.
I am always Todd.
And tonight we have a bunch of clowns. We're going to be talking about a bunch of clowns. And they're all very scary.
The weird part, though, is that I had to have a sit down with all my kids. And I had to say, listen, this is a joke. This is a fake thing. It's trying to get people riled up. Once one person gets 1,000 hits on Facebook because they dress as a clown, it looks creepy. Somebody else wants to do it and gain one attention, and it's just, and then they're like, no, Dad, it's Instagram, and you can't do that on Instagram. I'm like, you guys, I podcast with a company who does all kinds of crazy shit with videos if they wanted to. And so you can do just about anything you want and put it on the internet and make it look scary and creepy. People are going to take it to different levels, of course, but it's just one of those things where it's like having razor blades and Snickers bars and stupid shit like that. It never happened. It never was an issue.
It really never happened?
No.
Never once?
Nope. Never once.
Oh.
But see, you heard it enough. You heard it enough that you thought that it really was true.
Yeah, but I also heard stuff like Johnny Gosh went back to his mom's house and said, hey, I got to leave. It's too dangerous or they'll kill me. I heard that as an urban legend as a kid. I thought it was like an urban legend thinking back. I just recently watched the documentary, Johnny Gosh.
Oh, was it good?
It's really
Des Moines, right?
Yeah, it was in Des Moines. So it's really, really good, and it's also very enlightening. It reminded me, like they were saying at that point in time, that's when society changed, like just 180 flip. It went from your parents saying, go outside and play, and I don't want to see you until the sun comes down. It went from that to creating the words, creating the phrases of
stranger danger,
that
kind of stuff.
Exactly, and that was all because of Johnny Gosh. It was all because of his mother.
Well, and can you think of anything else as a parent that strikes like fear to your heart, like to the deepest part of you, of somebody else has your kid and you don't know who they are and what they're going to do? It's the kind of thing that cuts through anything else, and it just cuts right to the heart of who you are as a person. And I think that's why it has the impact that it does.
Dude, I'm just laughing because we were...
I hate my kids.
We were focused on, we were going to talk about this clown thing, and I don't know how we got from that to Johnny Gosh.
Within 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we went down the bad path.
But... you had brought up like the razor blades and candies and urban legends, and then that went to me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So anyway... I'm going to
say Johnny Gosh is a tad more important than fucking clowns. This is dumb. This clown thing is dumb.
It's not necessarily dumb because they're, it's hard to even phrase this question. Okay. Because there is what you would think to be a no-brainer type of reaction, right? It's like no big deal. Where there have been so many clown sightings, there's been so much anxiety or whatever created by these clowns.
Sure.
One woman said that there was a clown that tried to pull her 1-year-old child out of her arms, right? And then got away. There's other sightings or reports of clowns trying to gesture kids to come into the woods. There's other... And so that's like... let me see, NPR had done a story on this, and they had broken it down into
NPR, he just went down like 3 notches in my book. That just took him down.
Oh, really?
So dumb.
It took NPR down, or it took me up?
It took
you up. Yeah.
It raised you up. It took NPR down, and that really is saying something.
Well, NPR had kind of like broken it down to like 3 levels with the clown thing. So like the first level is... of these clowns, like physically, there are some like clowns chasing people. A clown tried to take a kid.
Don't you think it all is silly though? Because if you were a pedophile, and I don't know how pedophiles think, if you wanted to take a child and you wanted to get away with it, you're obviously not a thinking person anyways. Why would you dress in the most conspicuous way possible? Like, everybody look at me. I'm a crazy, horrible clown. I'm going to take children. It's like you should dress, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's like the epitome of somebody driving around in a van with no windows talking to little kids in the street. Could you be any more obvious?
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean, like right now it's October.
It's Halloween.
Halloween's coming up. The new movie It is coming out.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a new movie.
Wow.
They're going to be redoing that. So I can see that there's like maybe some reasons to hype up.
Isn't It the movie? Isn't that why we even have this happening?
With the clown?
It is the reason why scary clowns exist.
No.
There weren't scary clowns before It, was there?
Clowns are just fucking creepy. Period.
Clowns are creepy. Totally get.
People have been creeped out from clowns, and have never seen read the book It.
But It kind of is what made
Capitalized
it a horror.
on
Yeah, kind of made it a scary thing. And that book is horrific. It is really, really scary book, and that made me realize why people could hate clowns like they do, because it is so scary. He's such a good writer, but it's just so scary. And so I get it when I still see the cover of It, I think to myself, oh God, I just don't like clowns at all. And then you see Cam on Modern Family. He's a clown, and he's awesome. You feel bad, What could be better than a gay clown, and you feel bad about it because they're horrendous?
What could be better, or what could be worse?
What could be better?
What could be better?
I think so.
I don't know. Okay, so NPR had broken it down. Like I was saying, number one, people actually dressed as clowns and acting creepy. That's like there's 3 stages to this. So this is stage 1. Okay, and there's been a lot. There's been a lot of people arrested.
Yeah.
That have dressed up as clowns. It has spread to Europe and Britain. And people aren't fucking around. Like the police aren't screwing around. They've put out messages saying if you are dressed up like this, you will be arrested because you're trying to do this, that, and the other thing.
And is this a specific way of dressing as a clown, or is anybody who's walking down the street dressed like a clown with their kid going to be?
How many fucking clowns walk around? I mean, if you're
who dress as a clown,
if you're being paid to be a clown,
no. I mean, like, say my kids say, "Hey, Dad, I want to go as a tightrope walker. Can you walk around as a clown with me? Like we're in the circus."
When the fuck does that happen?
I know. I'm just
saying.
Other
than Halloween.
That's what I'm saying. Just Halloween time. Oh, so you're saying why would you fucking walking around as a clown now when it's not Halloween?
Exactly.
Got you. Okay,
yeah.
Makes sense. Sorry, that's okay.
All right. In Abilene, Texas, a man told police. Abilene. I'm sorry.
Do you remember Parenthood with Steve Martin? He goes, "I gotta head back to Abilene," and he takes off in his horse. Do you remember that movie?
No.
God, you're
in Abilene,
terrible.
Texas, a man told police that 2 clowns held him up at gunpoint after he took his dog outside to do his business around 4:30 a.m. Now that's creepy.
Yeah.
That means somebody stayed up all night, dressed up like fucking right?
In thick, heavy clown makeup.
And one of them was armed with an AR-type rifle. Okay, so that was one.
So don't you think these are people just taking advantage of the opportunity to get out there and do stupid shit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this, I'll show Todd, and you're not going to be able to see this, people. Maybe if I get the picture downloaded, they'll see it. But this is phase 2. Phase 2 from NPR is clowns harassing schools and harassing children. That's stage 2.
So they're going onto campuses and like walking around?
That one was.
Well, that's just trespassing, right? That's just trespassing.
I know,
whether you're dressed as a clown or not.
It's not. It's maybe not a big deal if you're on a college campus and you're fucking around because you're drunk and you want to have a good time and you're just being silly. But it's not funny, and it's not having a good time on elementary schools and high schools and shit like that. So that's, I mean, even a friend of ours, Rocky, had commented on his Facebook page about, the latest thing of clowns trying to lure kids into, or gesturing, to kids to come into the woods,
Right.
He's like, if I fucking find anybody dressed as a clown, you're in deep shit.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
Right, but that is stage 2. And so now, because of social media, because of all this attention, kids are, jumping on this bandwagon,
right,
so to speak.
So what's phase 3?
And other teenagers are dressing up as clowns or making threats to the school as a clown, right? And they're being arrested. Like some of these kids are being arrested. So. Number 2 is the empty clown related threats against schools, right? That's number 2.
Okay.
High schools, middle schools, even elementary schools. And there's a list of them. You can go to npr.org and you can type this stuff in to get the full account of all these different things. But then number 3, which is what I'm really trying to get at, is the unfounded hysteria.
Unfounded hysteria.
Unfounded hysteria.
Of clowns being creepy?
Unfounded hysteria, like riots being created, mob mentality happening at colleges. Okay?
Okay.
So the other day, this new show on Netflix came out called something Cage.
The black superhero. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah, I really like it. I dig it. I dig all that superhero.
I know you do, but is it good though?
I think they did a great job with it. Anyway, but there's this really good argument for being a vigilante.
Yeah.
There's a very good argument about we're so sick and tired of the fucking legal system. It's so broken. There's a comedian who used to be a lawyer who goes in depth about how fucking broken it is and how ridiculous him and all his lawyer buddies, all the people that are in the system, they know just how broken it is and ridiculous it is. How one person can get 6 years for something and somebody else gets 5 months. It's just fucking broken. There is no black and white. It's like, well,
Right.
what can I get you off on, or what can I sock it to you?
And then you have other things. Like I just went through mediation myself recently.
Yeah.
And they act like it's very cut and dry. Like they're like, here's your debt, here's your income, here's her debt, here's her income, add them all up, take the total, divide by 2. This is what you guys have. This is what you owe each other. However,
put your right foot in, you put your right foot out.
And they said that it takes gender's gone, all these things that used to be part of, the woman being part of something or the man being the moneymaker or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Now it's different where it's just kind of like everything's divided and we're done. That the court system is down to that. We're in mediation, so we can kind of cut through the bullshit. But the court is going to do the same thing. Just take everything, divide it, and move on. And it's like, let's get these things done. And so it's weird to hear that it's so broken in some instances, and yet others, it's kind of like they've fine-tuned it to like get it done and be over with.
Right. So anyway, that just made me think about, the lines are kind of becoming blurred. Things are not as black and white as what I thought they were when I was younger and growing up. Like the justice system, like I can see an argument for somebody wanting to be a vigilante a lot more so now that I see so many holes in the legal system.
Do you feel like there's still that piece? It's like me being against the death penalty, not because I don't think somebody should die because they did something so horrendous. It's that the system is broken and people who are innocent are being killed with our death penalty. That's more the issue that I have with it. Vigilantism kind of leads me down that same path that, yes, something needs to be fixed and taken care of, but vigilantism is somebody making an assumption and going, oh, you're this way, and I'm going to make sure I take it out on you, and you don't necessarily know all the background information. It's like me working with, I don't know, an adult who I think is just a piece of shit, and yet I find out that they have been severely abused child, and then they only had one mom and somebody abandoned them. And I mean, you hear about all the background and you go, oh, okay, so there's all these reasons leading up to this reason why this person may behave or act a certain way. And do we have to have empathy and understanding for that person? Or then do we say, well, you still made choices and you still fucked up, and so we're going to,
there's a whole thing about these are the consequences of your actions. Yeah. I'm really sorry all that shit happened to you back then, but I can't time machine my ass back to when you got fucked up to begin with and stop it. But this is who you are now. This is the product of that environment, and I have to deal with your actions.
Right.
So the consequences to those actions are you're fucked.
Well, and that's a very good point, because we've talked about me being in therapy before, and you said, what's it matter if I realize that my parents were negligent in raising me or whatever?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily benefit me no, that's not the way I want to put it. Neglecting. But negligent as a parent, right? Isn't that what negligent means? Am I saying it incorrect? They were negligent parents?
I have no idea. I just wanted to say it my way.
I don't know.
I want to say it my way.
I don't know. I'm right, damn it. What it does is it helps me realize that some of the choices I've made in the past or the way I react to something, I'll have a reaction and be like, fuck, why am I feeling like this? This is crazy. Why do I feel like I'm going to be abandoned? Or why am I feeling like these crazy emotions are happening? If I'm able to stop and go, oh, wait a second. This is what so-and-so was talking about. They were saying that because this happened in the past, you're going to have reactions to things. And once I understand why that happens, I can keep them in better check.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I really want to come back to therapy time with Todd.
Which really want to talk about fucking clowns.
I really do, but I don't want to miss. I was going through these steps, and if I need to do a lot better job of finishing my thoughts.
I need to be quiet.
Right?
Go ahead.
No. I need to make sure that we don't get too far off tangent and actually finish my argument here. Like I said, step number 3 was unfounded hysteria, and I started to bring up Luke Cage and this idea of not understanding or seeing something as not black and white anymore. And what's Luke Cage? What is he? Vigilante, right? Yeah. Well, this is what the clown fucking thing is happening. This is what's happening because of the clown hysteria. This is stage number 3, NPR's report on this. This is now this is going to have some foul language, our listeners, so I apologize.
They're not used to that at all.
But let me play this. Now, this was a rally that happened at a university, and there is a shit ton of people there. Let me play it for you.
Okay.
Maybe.
All of you! I want you to know! What do you want? The clown! Wait, I'm getting this! No matter where you come from, no matter your color, your religion, your creed, no matter who you're voting for, we can all agree on one thing. Fuck that!
Okay, so it looks like hundreds of people. It looks like hundreds of people, right? Now, there were, in fact, no verified reports of a sighting of a clown. Unless you count, of course, the image of a clown projected on a building, police say. But that didn't stop students from running through the streets, apparently in search of vengeance based on the expletives they hurled at the alleged clowns. Now, they were running through the streets with hockey sticks, bats, golf clubs. That's fucking crazy. Now,
right.
What if somebody was fucking around and they just wanted to be spooky and thought it was funny, but there's no malice behind it, right? What if, right? Okay. Say that fucking person gets caught by this fucking mob. All those people, all those kids are acting like what? Vigilantes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for
so
sure.
So it's pretty fucking scary. Now, Rocky would have been the same person, would have basically done the same thing. If he found a clown, you better fucking watch it because I'm coming after you.
Well,
clown.
He also said that because he's a teacher and he's thinking like kids and things like that too, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the action.
The vigilantism.
You saw something, it's this vigilantism, and do we condone it, yes or no? Because I watched a show like Luke Cage, and I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, I'm sure the legal system's fucked, and a lot of bad people get away with a lot of bad things. Just look at the upper 1%. Look at like Wall Street. Look at all these people that, we got fined $100 million when we made $10 billion off of
prime mortgages or whatever.
No, off of what do they call that when they take dirty money and they launder dirty money for some drug dealers?
Yeah.
You know, when you see shit like that, you're like, oh, well, obviously they're criminals. They're getting away with it. You know, if I did something wrong, if I went and robbed a bank and I came away with $10 million, you're like, Matt, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. But you know what? We're not going to put you in jail, but we are going to fine you 10% of what you took, young man. Please don't do that again. Sure. And fuck off.
Right.
That doesn't seem fair, right? Mm-hmm. So it gives weight to this idea that there is a need for vigilantism.
Right.
Or vigilantism.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Vigilantism?
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 I don't know. Whatever. To be a vigilante.
Why do we always get stuck on words?
I don't know, because I'm fucked up and I do that too.
I can't think of it either.
So, how do you feel about this whole clown thing? Because it has already freaked out my kids. Like my kids, my son,
kids too.
My son has a hard time sleeping in his own goddamn bed anyway. My wife has slept in his bed for the last 2 months.
Why?
Well, because she broke both of her arms. She's like fucking T-Rex, and it's his bed is lower to the ground. It's easier for her to get in and out of than our bed.
And she doesn't want to fuck you either, probably.
No. No, but thanks.
That's why she's sleeping with the kids, though. I mean, come on. It's T-Rex. Don't make excuses. Your penis still work?
Thank you, Todd. I don't know. You know, we get off track a few times. Is tonight your night to rip on me?
I just threw a winger in there.
I wantingly. If tonight's the night, unload.
I don't ever have anything good. I make a stupid comment like that, and it just sounds hollow and dumb, and it doesn't make any difference anyway. So
I'll get you back, fucker. All right, but so what do you?
The clowns don't bother. The
clowns
just don't bother me. I just don't see anything in it that makes me concerned.
Well,
my kids. Now, listen. Like I said, my kids have talked about it with me. I've gone through all the scenarios with them. I have an 8-year-old now that I live with that is really scared, and he. You know, my kids have told him things like, "Oh, you wait until Todd does this,
Toughen
this, and
up,
this."
fucker.
No, you know, I'll scare them. I do that all the time, just kind of being silly. But he starts going, "Hey, can you please don't do that because I'm really going to get scared." And his mom's like, "Yeah, he really gets super scared sometimes." And so this clown thing is really affecting him, whereas the other 3 are a little bit older. And when they see me go, fuck, you don't have to worry about this shit. It's stupid, dumb stuff. Don't worry about it. It's not going to happen to you around here. You'll be fine. And they all go, okay, if he's not worried about it, I'm not worried about it.
But there have been sightings in Iowa, and there are having sightings overseas. And when I said it looked like there was hundreds, carrying golf clubs, shovels, and hockey sticks, several hundred University of Connecticut students gathered just before midnight in a cemetery ready to do battle with menacing clowns they had heard might be lurking amongst the headstones.
Well, and I want to say that you are the person on Facebook that put that head that is looking through the window.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally going to scare the fuck out of my kids and my wife.
Hang it from the outside of the window?
And it's motorized. So the eyes go back and forth like this.
And one
one's
taps.
like this.
One taps.
Yeah, one's like that. Yeah.
Oh, God, that would be so bad. I mean, you can get people multiple times at multiple levels doing that.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime that you look in the mornings, I'll get ready for work at 4:00 in the morning, and I try to be nice, and so I'll close the closet door, turn the light on in the closet, go in the closet, and kind of get dressed. But my door won't close because my wife has all this stuff on the door, and I can't close it. It works
in there.
Yeah. Bags and purses and whatnot. So it won't close all the way. But there's been a couple of times, quite often actually, where I'll be getting dressed and I'll bend over to get my pants on or whatever, and I'll look over my I'll look to the left, right at that gap in the door, and my fucking dog is just. My dog has just got its head right in that gap and is just staring at me like,
it scares shit out of you.
When are you going to feed me? And I just think, if that was somebody's face, I would spray shit out of my ass. It wouldn't just be like a gentle gentleman's shitting of their pants. It would be like Joe Rogan says, a broken fire hydrant of an asshole. That's what would happen.
That stuff scares me too, and
I would scream like a woman.
I've told the story of sitting in my living room and in the summertime on the couch late at night watching TV, and I hear something outside, and I look out the window, and you can't see out the window. Right, because it's dark. Because it's dark outside, it's light on the inside of the house.
It's like a mirror.
And so I turned the light off, and I went to the window, and I couldn't see anything. And I look out, and there's a deer, huge rack of antlers staring right at me.
You sexist
and it
pig.
scared me
right here.
It scared me so bad. And he took off. I spooked him. He took off. But I mean, can you imagine anything more creepier than like a, deer antler shaped human being creature in your window?
Bear. Bear. If I saw a bear,
Did you see
the guy who got mauled by the bear?
that? Was fucking. First of all, I saw the video of him going, "I just got hit by a bear. She got a hold of my head." You find out that
it's bullshit.
Well, did you see
real.
Did you see the pictures of him afterwards? Because it shows the video of him, right? His arms all mauled and all chunked up.
Dude,
his
I'm sure
head
it's
is
real.
bit. No, they showed him. I went to his webpage and saw the video again, and then below that was pictures.
What's his website?
Oh, I can't remember what it is. I'm not sure what it is. Daniel Hayter was the one who had it on his Facebook page that I linked off of. Anyways, so when you go to this guy's website, when he's standing there talking, he's got a baseball cap on, sweatshirt. He holds up his arm. He's got flesh and stuff hanging out of his forearm.
Yeah.
He's got a bite on his head. And it looks like he has
I don't know what's going on underneath this baseball cap.
He's got a cut above his. You can see a cut above his ear.
Sure.
He's not bleeding. He just looks like he got fucked up.
No, he's got pretty good blood coming all over his face.
They showed his side of his head after he got stitches, and if he had like sneezed, his fucking ear and part of his face would have just flopped forward because it was split from his temple up back behind his head and down this way. When she bit into him, she split his scalp open in like 3 different directions. And so
he played dead. He played dead.
He played dead in the first one. He got attacked by a bear in the first time.
Wait a second. He got attacked by two different bears.
Two different bears. He got attacked by one bear, played dead, and it knocked him around a little bit, and then it walked off. He got up and fucking ran to his truck, and then he ran across a mom and her 2 cubs, and she's the one who fucked him up. That's the last thing that I heard. That's what happened. But the guy is lucky. Oh my God! Could you imagine? We'd have to imagine you're just sitting there going, "Okay, I hope she does it fast because this is going to be horrible." And a mama bear too. I mean, she's protecting her cubs. She's just going to fuck somebody up.
The Reverend.
Yeah.
The Revenant.
The Revenant. The Revenant.
Revenant.
Why do we always get caught up on these words?
I'm pretty sure it's The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. Great scene. The book gives you a much more gory, like, telling of what happened than the movie does. The movie doesn't do the book justice.
Fuck off. The movie is so harsh.
Yeah.
I can't hardly watch it. I can't hardly watch that scene just because it is so hardcore.
You know the one that
The Revenant.
The Revenant. See, that one wasn't that bad to me. The book was really brutal. And them trying to stitch him up and keep him together after the bear attack happened, that was even more brutal. You didn't see that in the movie.
What, them stitching him up?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that?
Oh yeah, I guess I do. Yeah.
Did you get up to get popcorn or something? Like,
yeah.
Fuck it, I read the book.
I might have done that. Yeah, for sure. But I saw, what was that movie with who's Mr. Handsome that's in all the memes? Hey Girl. What's his name?
Mr. Handsome?
Yeah, handsome kid, great actor.
Hey Girl.
And he has those memes that always say, "Hey Girl," and they're dumb.
I don't know.
Why am I blanking on his name?
I'm just gonna type in "Hey Girl" memes.
Yeah, and his name will pop up.
I don't know. Ryan Gosling?
Ryan Gosling, there you go. He's in a movie.
He does a lot of "Hey Girl" memes?
No, they do "Hey Girl" memes started with him.
Oh, okay.
And so he'll like Jimmy Kimmel will bring him on and have him read out loud the "Hey Girl" memes, and he just can't stop laughing hysterically at himself when he does them. Anyways, he was in a movie where he beats a guy to death with I want to say a fire extinguisher. And you watch like this guy's head get caved in. Oh no, he kicks a guy to death in an elevator. And he's just stomping, kicking this guy's head. And that, to me, I'll take The Revenant over that like any day. It was just so brutal and so violent. I just could not handle it. It was just too much. Now, a bear attacking a guy and fucking the guy up, yeah, that's horrible. But I can handle that over like, violence like that any day.
Think so?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, we were talking about clowns. Yeah. How did we get on this?
I don't know. Fuck you. How do I know we get on these tangents? I don't know. Should we talk about my impending marriage? Should we talk about that a little bit?
Fucking
Do you want to talk about
shut
that? Do
your
you want to?
face. I love Todd like a brother. You bring up the fucking M word to me. You know what? I'm glad you brought this up.
Ooh,
Marriage.
I struck a nerve. I get
Marriage.
excited.
You know what?
Yes.
I think we've covered the cloud.
Love, true love.
Oh, it's a joke.
Love is what brings us together.
Today.
Today.
Princess Bride. If you've never seen it, see it. It's a great movie. I loved it. Anyway, I went to a wedding yesterday, and I want to be positive about it. I do, because I love the people who got married. I really care about my niece a lot.
Who?
Her Sammy.
Oh, wow.
And
Shit, I didn't know that.
Tim, her husband. I wish him the best. But I was just listening to it, thinking, I'm much more. Is it pragmatist? I'm much more of a realist.
Yeah, no, that's
kind of
right.
a thing. It's like, oh, that true love thing. Is that real?
You didn't feel that when you married your wife? This whole lovey-dovey, over-the-top true love stuff?
Dude, I could barely get through my vows. I was crying.
I was there.
Right? I know. I'm just, for the listeners, for the watchers, right?
Yes.
I was crying. I was in deep smit with my lady, and I still am. But it's just this idea. I don't think it's natural. I think it's unnatural. Yeah.
Well, I think part of it, I had a lady at work, and she and I are office mates now. She's a really fun, kooky lady. I think she's awesome. And she's like, it's almost like, yes, the lovey-dovey kind of stuff that's so important, and having that deep, deep connection with somebody. And like you said, not being able to get through your vows when you talk about people that you're with and you're intimate with. She said, but it's almost like people should sit down and say, listen, I think this is wonderful. Hold on to that, sustain that, nurture that. But this is the reality. You're going to hit times where the shit hits the fan and you have to find a way through it, or somebody's going to make a colossal fucking mistake, and you're going to have to learn to forgive somebody for these big, big missteps, or being dishonest, or it's almost like, so she was just saying that it almost like you need to have like a reality check. I think you and I talked about this when you became a foster parent. You and I talked about those foster parenting classes, how I was like, Christ, if somebody had said, hey, this would be a great class for you to do just so you can be a better parent, I would have liked to have taken that class. Right?
Yeah, but how many people are going to do that?
I know, but I'm just saying that I would have done that.
Sure.
It's almost like the same thing with marriage. Somebody should say to you, listen, I'm glad this is puppy dogs and rainbows. This is what it's all about. Yes, you need to be in love with somebody, but just so you know, it will not be like this all the time. And you have to hold on to those moments, but you also have to realize that you're going to hate that person sometimes. Sometimes you're going to be like, what the fuck am I doing with this person?
Yeah. And I don't even know if it's so much hate. It's
I hate you for whatever, You knocked my bike over. God damn it! Don't you care about? Don't you care about? Don't you care about
two grown adults? And you're like, hey, you knocked my bike over.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I went kid school on you. Sorry. I just mean that sometimes somebody's going to piss you off, and you're just going to say, I hate you. I hate that you do that. Why do you do that? And you're going to hate somebody.
I think
it's natural.
I would disagree with what you're saying. I think the majority of wrecked marriages happen from people feeling trapped, right? You're trapped with this person. You're trapped with this ball and chain, and the ball and chain thing goes back and forth between men and women. Doesn't matter. I'm not just trying to be sexist. It's when men feel trapped by their obligations and they can't be who they want to be. They can't be who they truly are, which is still a fucking kid. Men are kids trapped in aging bodies. That's all we are. Women are trapped in aging bodies. Wait. Women are just...
Because they're more mature than we are?
I don't know.
For the most part, I would agree with that.
I mean, you ask any man of any age, hey,
right.
You think that chick's hot right there? We're all going to say, oh my God, we couldn't take our eyes off her. Now, women will say, well, they're just disgusting perverts.
Or they're just guys. Guys being guys. That kind of shit, too.
Yeah, but we're most of the time, it's like, oh my God, you're 70 years old. Why are you checking out a 20-year-old? She could be your granddaughter. Yeah, she could, but we are young men trapped in these aging bodies, and we're going to continue to think the same. Whereas,
Well, we're going to be procreating forever,
right?
If we possibly could.
Whereas, I think women, they are not. I don't think they are the same ladies they were when they were in their 20s or whatever. I think as they get older, they're just like, well, I've gotten banged enough. I'm pretty much done getting banged. I've done the whole blowjob thing a couple hundred times. I'm kind of done doing that old show. You know what I'm saying? As they get older. Whereas the older guys are like, nope, this never gets old. You know?
Right. Unless you find the unique lady who says like, this is what guys like. And so my guy likes this stuff, so I'm going to keep giving him blowjobs. I'm going to keep having sex because I understand that's what guys enjoy, and I'm in this with two people. I'm in this with another person, right?
Right. But what I was trying to say was that guys, I feel like, are more trapped. I think women look at weddings and they go, oh, it's like prom. I'm a princess. Look at what I can do. I can get this gown. I can put on this big show. I'm the center of attention. This is all for me. Look at me. I'm a queen for a day. Right? Mm-hmm. And it's like a show on Bravo. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. I'm glad that you two decided to be together. That's great. If you were to date until the end of time, I would be more happy for you than if you signed a legal document saying, hey, let's get hitched. And then 6 months from now, for some unknown fucking reason, you're going to change your mind about how you want to act. Not even in the bed, not even with sex. You just want to stop acting like the way you've been acting because we dated for 6 years before we got married. All of a sudden, you're fucking different. But now I got to give you half my shit. I don't quite understand it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being together with somebody because you have a special connection, I'm all for it. But it's that legal document that makes me go, oh, you just fucking ruined something that could have been special.
It's a tad jaded. Don't you think that...
Why does it have to be jaded? If you want to be with somebody and not get married,
I'm only saying that
awesome,
jaded in the sense that if I choose to get married at some point again, does that mean that?
But why? Like, just so you can do a legal document? To me, marriage at this age is dumb for anybody. I think it's dumb. Because why? Because I don't understand it. There's no need for it anymore.
What if you want to have like that ultimate connection with somebody?
Oh,
no.
A piece of paper doesn't give you this magical connection with somebody, right? If you need a piece of paper, if you need your names on a piece of paper to give you a magical connection, you're fucked.
How about a commitment?
Why can't you have a commitment with somebody without a legal document?
Yeah, you can have that. What if you just get married with? What if you get married with like a minister and the two of you just like join together in the eyes of God? How about could you do that and not sign a legal document?
Why can't you just be an amazing mate for that person? Why can't you just be an amazing what do you call it? Your partner for that person. You love that person's children. She loves your children. You might have had children together. I'm not talking about you specifically. But that, I can respect that. I totally respect that.
If I got married now, you wouldn't respect it because you think it's just dumb to do at this point?
I just think it's dumb to do. If you want to do it, I can't stop people from doing stuff. I just think me personally, it's just kind of stupid. It's not about, well, we want to have a joining of two souls in the eyes of God. Fuck off. Seriously, every day, are you thinking about what you're doing in the eyes of God? No. You're doing this because society says that you're supposed to do it. You're doing this because your mother did this and your father did this and your aunts and your uncles and your cousins, and you want to have your big day. And great.
What if I don't want to have a big day? What if I just want to, just the two of us, do something together that says we're committing to each other? What if it's as simple as that?
If it's a legal document, I think it's fucking stupid. If you want to have a party because you want to celebrate how great your partner is, dude, I'm there with bells on. If you're there, if you're saying, hey, let's have a big party, I want to celebrate how great my partner is, and by the way, I just signed this fucking legal contract, I'll say, fucking dumb. Where's my beer?
So I guess I shouldn't send the invite to your house.
All I'm saying is there's no need for, I mean, dude, how many times have you been married?
Twice.
And how many times did you say, in the eyes of God, through thick and thin, through for better, for worse, you are my soulmate? Twice.
Not for my soulmate.
Fuck off. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. You did it for what you thought was the right reasons. And it was more along the lines of a legal document than anything else. And I know if people want to say, well, gays and lesbians are fighting for this right to be married so that they can, have these legal rights, If you want to come out and say, listen, I'm not marrying her because of this, in the eyes of the Lord type of thing. I'm not doing it for that. The only reason I'm doing it is for insurance. The only reason I'm doing it is so that if she gets sick, I can be in the hospital.
So it has to have some kind of like logical reasoning behind it. Otherwise, it's just you.
Otherwise, everyone's full of shit. Otherwise, everyone's full of shit because very, very few people are like, man, I just want to make the Lord proud today. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that.
There's part of me, though, that understands the idea of a commitment to somebody and getting married that way. I still believe in that, even though, you think I would be a little more jaded, having not even been divorced yet. But I can see my... Oh, I love making you laugh.
Oh, my head hurts. Oh, that built up some pressure, I think.
That's right. I think you blew a vein in your temple right there.
Oh, fuck.
But I can see why I would want to commit to somebody when you feel like you have that ultimate partner.
I really want to bring your therapist in on this because there's some therapy shit that I want to talk about too. But
therapy shit?
Yeah, some therapy shit. I got some pretty hardcore opinions about therapy lately.
From who?
Just that have come up in my brain that I have a strong opinion about therapy.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, for instance, we'll come back to this wedding invite that you don't need to send me anymore.
No, trust me. I won't even tell you about it. I thought we were best friends, but I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Oh, brother.
That's okay.
I love you. Anyway, therapy.
Yeah, I'm interested about this. I get a lot out of it. I honestly get a ton out of it. And it's not somebody going, here are all the answers for you, Todd.
Yeah.
Here's all these things.
Yeah.
You're fucked up. You're damaged goods. Here's all these kind of things. It's more of saying, hey, listen, the things you've gone through affected the way you think about things. And so when you get like, well, I've never had a panic attack, but if you get to the point where you're shallow breathing and your palms are sweaty and you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason why you are having that reaction. And if you understand why you're having that reaction, you're better able to control it. It's like getting kids, I've been reading tons of parenting books, getting kids to understand how they're feeling will help them regulate their reaction to how they're feeling. Because people always talk about, it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you handle it that matters, right?
Okay.
It's along those same lines. If you understand why you're reacting, then you can have a better understanding of how to act better or change that reaction.
Okay.
Go ahead. You have some cynical, horrible thing to say. Go ahead.
No, my thing is, I think, pretty easy, to understand. Maybe I don't think I went too far off the rails with this.
Oh, I'll let you know if this is true or not.
All right. So, let me ask you this. In your opinion, has the pussification of America been a good thing or a bad thing?
A bad thing.
Okay. I'm shocked that you said this. I'm a little shocked. It kind of threw me off of my argument.
Oh, you were hoping I was going to be the antagonist in this story.
I was hoping,
like it.
But you just agreed that the pussification of America has been a bad thing. I want to be. I want you to know what noun. How do I want to be identified? Described and his or her or your or whatever. Right? And it hurts my feelings if you talk to me about this, or I can't be called a coyote. Why can't I be called a fox? I want fox on my driver's license. Like, you think all that shit is bad. It's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
What I feel like is that therapy Like we've gone so far instead of like being able to deal with shit. Like, hey, my dad beat me 4 times a week. I love those other 3 days. Let's go. Come on. Boop, 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 boop. You know, you just moved on with shit. I mean, you think about, Great Depression. Even before, I mean, I always go back to Great Depression, but life before that was a series of fucking disasters. Like, life just sucked. It was hard. I can only imagine it was hard and it sucked, right?
Right.
Like, you didn't have running water. You didn't have a bathroom inside the house. You had to work your ass off for food. Kids are fucking dying left and right from disease. Women are dying left and right from childbirth. Guys are getting shot by Indians. You know, it's just anarchy. It's craziness. But we survived, and we were tough, and we didn't fucking bitch and moan and cry, and we didn't need a therapist to help us through our fucking day. Now, there's food in an icebox, and we can shit just down the hall, and nothing is a struggle, and we can ask this little magical device how many feet it is to the moon, because who fucking cares? But it has the answer, and we can play little games and entertain ourselves nonstop every fucking second of the day that we're awake. We have all this amazing shit, and can we handle it? No, I can't. I need an excuse on why I feel shitty. I need to talk to a therapist, and then she can give me a reason. Yes, let me empower you. This is why you should be. This is why you're feeling bad. Don't feel bad about feeling bad. This is why you're feeling bad. I'm going to give you more power. I'm going to give you more excuses to feel bad. Of course you're doing this because of this happening in your past. Of course. Instead of saying, this is fucking life. Suck it up. Learn from your fucking mistakes and move on. We're all doing the best that we can, so let's move on. I guess that's my thing with therapy. Is that
have you gone to a lot of therapists?
Oh fuck! My parents drug me through therapy, marriage.
What for?
Oh, marriage counseling. When I was a kid, my parents went to fucking marriage counseling every other month.
And they brought you to it?
Yeah.
And we're like,
I don't ever remember my sister being involved in this fucking marriage counseling, but I was.
You were.
Yeah.
I have never heard of a kid being involved in marriage counseling with somebody else. But for me, therapy has been not like, oh, hey, let's just pussify everything for you. It's not your fault. It's more of saying, no, this is what's happened. This is what happened to you. And so when you have these kind of feelings and you react the way you do, well, this is why. And me going, oh, so that's why I have that feeling. I thought I was just some fucking weirdo that couldn't, think straight. And when things got stressful and hard, I thought I just couldn't fucking handle anything. I thought I was a dumbass. And when they say to me, but the way you react to the way you're thinking about it is because of the way A, B, and C happened.
Sure.
I can go, oh, okay. It's not me going, oh, great. That's all on their plate. I had nothing to do with it. It's more of me saying, so now I understand why I feel the way I feel, and I can change it.
All right, let me ask you
So
this.
I take responsibility for my behavior instead of saying dismissing it and saying
it's
somebody
Can you imagine
else's fault.
anybody in our past, anybody in the far past going, oh, thank you. That's why I do what I do. That's really been keeping me up at night, Doc. Can you think of can you imagine anybody in the wild, wild west whose family just got massacred for no reason or all were wiped out by smallpox except for one person, and she's talking to a therapist later going, oh, thank you for helping me through that? Or did they just go, life sucks and life is hard. Life isn't this beautiful experience that we're all supposed to just... Life isn't this rainbows and puppy dogs and unicorn shit everywhere, and it's supposed to be that way. No, life is just really hard.
Well, part of me thinks that you have a misinterpretation of therapy, because my therapist doesn't give me like excuses for me to behave the way I want to behave. My therapist gives me understanding of why I react to what happens to me, so that I can try to make.
You almost said so I could continue to act the way I
so I can continue to make better choices.
Oh, okay.
So I can try to make better choices all the time. So
what would your therapist say about, I'm thinking about getting married, even though I'm not divorced yet?
Oh, my therapist would say, what's the rush? No, absolutely she would. Yeah. We've already talked about that. is I'm not in a rush to get married. But she, I mean, I've talked about it. I've talked about it, and so she's been like, okay, so why are you thinking about that? What's and I'm like, because I feel like I sit down and talk with this individual on a daily basis, and we're connected the same.
So I feel like there has to be a legal contract.
No, I don't. But I want to have a commitment with somebody.
But you have that.
Yeah, I do.
But you don't need a legal document. See, that's the thing.
No.
In your head, you feel like, you know what? This isn't a commitment until I'm fucked if I leave you.
Oh no! I mean, we're already living together, so we're pretty committed. So why do we need to have another legal document to say that?
That's what I'm asking you. You're saying I need a commitment. There should be a commitment.
Maybe I'm giving.
Damn it!
Maybe I'm giving.
Matt, there needs to be a commitment. There is. You're living there.
Maybe I need to be. Maybe I need to have it be societal. I don't know. It's a good question to ask, though.
I don't. Especially in your particular situation, you're old enough to be jaded by marriage.
You would think, yeah.
And you have the brains to know that all it is a legal document. You're not pacifying a teenager or a young 20s woman who all she's ever thought about
is the day.
Is that big white wedding that her dad can walk her down the aisle.
Mangarine with a
what?
Big dress, big
whatever it is. Yeah. She's already had that, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She's already experienced that. I mean, the illusion of what it is it should be gone because it's just a party. The fact that you want to commit
the idea
should not have to be a legal document because that is all it is at this point.
Mm-hmm. She is more thinking along the lines that if that were to happen, that she would want it to be some kind of commitment just between the two of us. That doesn't need to be a party.
But
doesn't need to be any of those things.
But you have that. That's my thing. We're running in circles now.
Yeah.
But you have a commitment to each other.
So why do we have to take it that next societal
The only
step?
reason that I could see that you would feel like you have to make that commitment is because you're afraid of someone leaving. So if you're living your life and you're going down your path that makes you happy, you should be happy no matter what. You should be happy no matter what. If she leaves, you're still good because you're doing what you want to do and you're making yourself happy and she's along for the ride and fuck, that is such a bonus.
Or you're along the ride for each other at the same time, right?
Right. But if you're so fucking afraid, and this goes for her too, this goes on both sides. If you're so fucking afraid, because if that baggage isn't with you, I'm going to fall apart. She's my training wheels. I can't function in life without my training wheels. If that's you, if you're the bike without training wheels and you can't fucking be ridden down the street, you're broken and you need to get fixed and you need to pay attention to yourself.
So what if you feel like you're a good person, you have it figured out, you feel great, you don't rely on that person for all those things that you think you need as training wheels?
Then why do you feel like you need to have a legal document to attach her to you for the rest of your life?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you are a smart, listen, you're a smart adult male. You've been through this weird circus thing of weddings before. You know that it's all built up into this big emotional bullshit thing. And 5 years later, it could come crashing down.
Right.
Or 14 or 15 or whatever it is later. Right?
Right.
It's all about you're in this mood. You're in this big romantic mood. It means nothing. God is not going to hold your marriage together. You are going to decide, she is going to decide to work on this partnership through life with you. This legal document does nothing to keep you together except for fear that she would walk away and that you would be a husk of a person without her. Or she's afraid that you will walk away and she needs that chain around you, that legal binding chain around you to make sure that you don't walk away because without you, she would be a husk and she can't make it through life. That's the problem. The problem is every single individual person here on earth should be able to find a way to make themselves happy, just like the Jeep called Yeti, right? That podcast, the Jeep called Yeti with Joshua Coburn, Wellraiser Radio. It was two individuals doing what they fucking love to do, and they just came across both one another doing the exact same fucking thing and said, hey, I'm on this ride that I love being on. Did you wanna come along with me? Because it looks like you're on the same path.
Right. And so would you give them the same advice?
Yeah. Yeah. I would give anybody this advice. I don't think anybody young would. I don't think anybody who hasn't been married would listen.
So when you got married the second time, do you feel like you didn't have to do that, or was that more of a societal thing, do you think?
I think it was more of a societal thing. Yeah.
And is that a bad thing, though?
Yeah, because if the idea is...
I think you guys were... I think you and your wife are on that path together. I see you guys as being on that path together. And so I don't see anything wrong with you getting married because she's not your training wheels. You wouldn't be a husk of a person if she was gone or vice versa. And so I think you getting married is a beautiful commitment to each other. And I don't think I don't think I would think anything less of it if you weren't married to each other, but I wouldn't think anything less of it if you were.
Let me ask you this. If you and your lady were on a boat...
Okay, this is going to be great. I can already tell.
Off the southern coast of the tip of Africa, right?
Yeah.
And you go, you know what? I'm going to prove to you my commitment. I'm going to swim in these waters with great white sharks in no cage. Would that be smart? Because I want to show you my commitment.
Yeah. Now we're married. We're comparing marriage to swimming with sharks?
Yeah, because no, I'm comparing signing a legal document that should mean fucking nothing to commitment. That is to me the same thing as swimming with great white sharks. It's fucking ridiculous. You shouldn't have to swim with great white sharks to show your commitment to a woman. You shouldn't have to sign a legal document to show your commitment to a woman because you want to live and go through life with this partner who you think this is a perfect match. I'm going this way. She's going this way. Let's enjoy this ride together. Yeah.
And so you're saying if you got divorced now and you would never get remarried ever?
No. Nope. I would share my bed with a woman.
You sound like you're from old timey West or something.
No, I would
share my bed with a woman.
I would share my life with somebody, but the idea of, well, I need a legal document to show you how much I love you. Now, what I've been arguing is completely different from, well, we need to get married because you have cancer and I want to be able to sign off on your insurance and there's some rights that I don't have if we're not married. That's completely fucking different. Completely different. But if you're talking through your heart, your little heart muscle, saying, well, we got to get married because I want to show her my devotion, then I think it's fucking stupid. If you say you want to get married because of legal reasons, then a legal document makes sense. Because without that legal document, you miss out on legal benefits.
So why'd you get married then?
I don't know. I was young.
You weren't that young.
I don't know. I think I got married primarily because you get swept up into this idea, and there's not enough people. I don't think there's enough people saying what I'm saying. I think there's old fucking people saying, nope, I want to see you get married. I think you should get married. Why? But why? Let's really think about why you're getting married. You know? The two people that got married yesterday that I went to their wedding, wonderful. I wish them the best. But they were doing great before that. They were doing wonderfully before that. If they were having a party just to celebrate the fact that they love each other, I would have been all in. I was still all in, somewhat.
How long have they been dating?
I don't know. I'm not their keeper. I don't know. I have no idea. A few years. But I've also known people who were together for 6 or 7 years dating. They get married 6 months later. They file for divorce. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You should never feel trapped. I think we started this with the idea of, I think men and women are different. Men, I think, in general, I know I'm painting with a broad brush here, but men can easily feel trapped. And that feeling of being trapped all of a sudden starts to taint things that maybe weren't looking so bad before, but now you're like, well, fuck, I have responsibilities. I can't quit my job. Even though this job sucks, it doesn't make me happy. I only have one go around on this merry-go-round called life. I have one fucking shot. And I can't do what I want to do. Why? Because I got a mortgage and a wife and I got a... You know what I mean?
But does that have to do with... What's that going to do with marriage, though? Because if you weren't legally bound, then you could be
right,
you could
because
leave.
you are living this life for you. You're not living this life for her. You're not living this life for your kids.
Right.
And everybody's going, what? Oh, once you have kids, your life's over, and now you live for your kids. Fuck off. That's really stupid. It's really stupid because your kids leave eventually, and you have to tell your kids, by the way, kids, just so you know, this life that you're observing is yours. It's not mine. It's not your mom's. It's not your grandparents or your cousins. It's yours. You are going to deal with the consequences of your actions, and you need to be happy. You need to decide. However, if you want to be a fucking circus clown screwing around on college campuses and having people chase you, that's fine. That's up to you. And you shouldn't make decisions based on, well, I think Dad wouldn't be very happy with me if I went into porn. or I think Mom always wanted me to be a lawyer. Or I think Dad always wanted me to go to college. I just never wanted to go to college. You should from the get-go, you should live your life for yourself. But we don't really truly push that on our kids because we don't act that way. I can't just do whatever I want. Because I have responsibilities. Why do I have responsibilities? Because I have a legal document that says, no, you can't just fucking leave, dude. No.
Well, I mean, don't you feel like that legal document could just go both ways? I mean, if you could leave if you wanted to. You'd be held to certain consequences, but you could do with what you want, even if you have a legal document. Right?
Yeah. I've also seen the worst side of that. From a friend of mine who has been divorced twice now with multiple kids, and there's child support taken out of his check.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this has given me pause to the idea of deadbeat dads, okay? This has given me this ability to put myself in somebody else's shoes for a second, because before I heard this guy's story, I thought for sure, oh, deadbeat dads, fucking scourge of the earth.
Right. Sure.
Hate them. They're despicable. But then I get to know this guy. And he's married. He's not divorced yet from his second wife. But he's telling me about the child support that he has to pay on his first wife, who their third child is not his child, but thought was his child because she was a hewer. I shouldn't say a whore.
Oh.
She got pregnant. Her third child was by another guy. But anyway, it's drama. It's straight up Bravo drama, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but he has a lot of money taken out of his paycheck.
Right.
He works hard. He works hard for the money. He works hard. But no matter how hard he works, he's only going to get a sliver of what he makes. Why? Because money's going to automatically get sucked out of his wallet before he even gets it. Then he gets divorced by wife number 2, because wife number 2, well, you know what? I haven't dropped any names yet, so I'm still okay, right?
You're fine. Yeah.
I'm fine.
Nobody knows who you're talking about.
So wife number 2 is a fucking slug. It's a human slug. She's gained weight, so I'm not fat shaming until right now. So she's a human slug. She got so fucking huge, and it's hard to know which came first, the chicken or the egg, her weight or the ailments that prevent her from working out because she's so fucking fat that it hurts her back and she can't do anything, and so she just does nothing.
And you and I have known lots of people that way.
Constantly medicating herself, and she doesn't feel any better, so she's just shoving more pills in her mouth, and the guy's like, hey, come on, how about we do this? And can you do that? And he's like, no, can you watch the kids? You know, more pills. I can't do anything. I'm going to call off sick. I can't live. Right? he can't leave the house because she's so needy. Right?
Right.
So how could you live your life? Because you only have one go around.
Right.
How can you live your life to the fullest? And you're like, fuck yeah, today was awesome. Wow, go Todd. Team Todd. How can you do that when the person that you're legally bound to is dragging you down, physically dragging you and not allowing you to leave the house? And if you leave the house, there's an argument and then your day fucking sucks and then your kid sees you arguing. Just a pile of shit. So what happens? You find somebody who isn't so negative, who isn't a pile of shit, and then they start making you feel good, and then pretty soon divorce number 2 happens. Divorce number 2 happens, and now you're paying child support on another marriage. And now the guy can't even pay fucking rent. He doesn't have enough money from his check to have an apartment, to buy his own house, have his own car. He's fucked. He's financially screwed until all these kids turn 18. Or after that, after college. Because he's bound to them. So I started thinking about this. I'm like, oh my God, I kind of feel bad and can see how, because of a legal document and the justice system being so screwed, like what we were kind of saying before with vigilantism and how you could say, you can make an argument for that.
But he also wouldn't be, he'd be, even if he wasn't legally married to these women, he would be legally bound to pay child support even if he wasn't married.
Right. No. Yes.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is when you get wrapped up into the legal system, all of a sudden choices get pulled out of your hands. And now this guy, there's no recourse for him. There's nothing. There's no at all.
Besides to be a deadbeat dad.
No.
No?
Nope. Because he's not. He's not a deadbeat dad. And that money gets taken out of his paycheck before he even gets it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Whoa.
So he gets such a small fraction of his overall paycheck, which, I mean, he found somebody who he really cares about, and he has to commute because she lives so far away. But he makes that drive. He commits. He does this stuff. But if that relationship fell through, if there wasn't somebody to help him stand, if he didn't have a spotter that we've talked about before, having a spotter through life, if he didn't have that spotter, he'd be fucked.
Because she's helping him financially?
She provides him a place to sleep.
Oh, he has a place to live. Oh, gotcha.
And because he can't afford rent on an apartment. He can't make enough money for a house. Some of the things that you're like, well, why don't you just get a house? No. Because the child support
I couldn't just go get a house.
Sucks it all out of you. Wow. Which I'm not saying you shouldn't take care of your responsibilities, but at what point are you just like, I don't know what else I can give you. I'm fucking tapped. I mean, I suppose you can take out bone marrow every 2 weeks, but I'm dry, motherfuckers. I can't do any more. Which maybe that leads us to another conversation somewhere down the road about population control. Maybe all of us guys should get fucking a sample given, right, when we're teenagers, and then snipped.
Well, it's weird to be, and that was a good hedgeway because I may still get married again. You never know. But even the population thing, I think I messaged you a couple times this week. I'm reading Inferno by Dan Brown, who did the Da Vinci Code and all that kind of stuff.
Hey, we're over an hour. Let's wrap this up. Let's bring up the Da Vinci Code and stuff on our next podcast. Because if we keep going, we could go a couple hours, and we have another podcast here in just a little bit. Okay. Dr. Derek
Marks
is coming in. Actually, we're Skyping him. Right? What time is it?
Oh, later on. I don't know. It might be later on today. He'll let us know.
Yeah, later on today. All right. Anyway, sorry to cut you short, man.
Hey,
I mean,
that's okay.
I do want to talk about the whole Inferno thing and population control. It's very interesting to me, and I care a lot about it. I'm very passionate about it, actually.
Yeah.
And how do you spin that? How do you make yourself sound like a good guy when you're like, population control, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be having kids. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. Anyway, thank you for the conversation tonight. How did you feel about the whole clown thing? Did that really work itself out at all?
And ridiculous. Yeah, it's just dumb. I just don't. I mean, I get NPR's story. I see all of it. I get the mob mentality. I get the weirdness of it. But I have to do my part, which is tell my kids it's all ridiculous. Stay away from the clowns if you see them in Cedar Rapids, and realize it's just all YouTube videos and bullshit, and it'll phase out when Halloween's over. You know, we're gonna say Christmas because it is the zombie who's alive and walking around. He has risen, right? Isn't that part of it? That's his birthday.
Don't you go to church?
I do go to church. But I think it was Joe Rogan who said that. You can believe in a zombie? Come on.
Yeah.
No, I think once Halloween's over, the clowns will be done.
All right. Well, that's Todd's prediction. We'll see if that comes true. We are going to have it. We should have a special Halloween edition.
Oh, did we do that a couple years ago?
We tried to, but we didn't.
We didn't. No. Probably because we were probably trick-or-treating. That's probably why. Got to have that candy. Uncle Pop's got to have those big candy bars.
God bless Uncle Pop. Anyway, that's tonight. That's it for tonight on the Problem Screen Podcast. It's been a while. I'm Matt.
And I am Todd.
We'll see you later.
Adios.
Good night.